Persona 5 Tactica is the next spin-off game to one of the best JRPGs of all time, developed by Atlus. This time, after the rhythm game Dancing in Starlight and the action RPG Strikers, the Phantom Thieves are exploring the tactics genre. The story of the game begins with the group meeting up at LeBlanc, where they find out about the politician Toshiro who has gone missing. Shortly after that, they will be transported into a parallel world that they, unlike the metaverse of the main game, cannot enter or leave whenever they like. After a short tutorial fight versus the dictator-like antagonist in this new parallel world, you will meet Erina, a young woman who leads a rebellion and joins forces with the Phantom Thieves. On one of their missions, they free some prisoners, and one of them happens to be the politician mentioned before. And even though you keep playing as the Phantom Thieves, from that point onwards, the story revolves around Toshiro's life, struggles, and especially his character development. When you compare the story to the main game or even the older titles in the series, this one is on the weaker side. One reason for that being the lack of depth to most of the characters besides the newly introduced ones. And another big reason for me is the art style. What I mean by that is that the game again contains some serious topics, but the chibi characters fail to deliver the emotions and the atmosphere in those intense moments. Gameplay wise, you will take part in separated missions that most of the time give you one of three objectives to fulfill. You either have to defeat all enemies, survive a certain amount of turns, or walk with your party of up to 3 people to an area on the map. In addition to that, you have bonus objectives like finish the level in 5 turns that will give you some extra rewards. The combat itself is grid and turn based with 3 main ways to attack your enemies. The first one are physical attacks that push your enemy backwards and make you take their place on the battlefield. How far the enemy is pushed back differs from character to character. And when an opponent is pushed off an edge and one of your party members is standing in the right place, they will perform an automatic finishing move. The second way to deal damage are firearms that are different from character to character too. You can have a single shot weapon that will only damage one opponent, or spraying an explosive weapons that will hit multiple targets. The final way are the eponymous personas that will have abilities that again can do area damage or targeted damage, but may inflict status effects as well that will leave the opponent vulnerable to follow-up attacks. And while the ways to defeat your enemies are quite versatile, your opponents themselves are the same 3 generic enemies for most of the game. They will change the color of their heads at max. But to be fair, this didn't really bother me as much as it might sound. So if you feel like the weaknesses I mentioned won't bother you, and you played the original Persona 5 before, with a final rating of 78, Persona 5 Tactica will be worth your time.